Yo, I put it like wow, this that sound. These oaks don't work hard like me, I hope they know by now. Bayo Bab, stand my ground. Bro, these money trees go overseas like Percy Tau. I make sure you stay around, quiet when I'm under loud. No negatives allowed, me and positivity took a vow. I always play to win, don't anticipate loss. Mind always in the clown, my boy. Never think about the drop, never ever ever think about the drop.
Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show. I'm MKT. Electrifying weekend. A guy in Formula 1 nearly died. He's a knight. That was electrifying after a Dutch-Austrian-born guy tried to race his car over his helmet. Electrifying stuff. Absolutely cracking weekend. Our sport, a guy from Portugal, came back to Manchester United. Changed the whole game there. Did his thing. 2 goals, no problems. Cristiano Ronaldo back in the mix. Obviously Man United winning the treble and possibly winning the PSL in one season. We know Man United fans are going to be going berserk. So I've made an executive call. And before we get to this executive call, James, we might as well start with you. A little bit of pre-chatting here about health and diets and people changing their lives. You've gone and done the most responsible thing you may have done in 2021. James has gone and had a haircut, which took forever. I mean, James, you've made some life choices, and it's important in life how you feel. James, it is important how you feel in life. How you feeling, pal? You looking like you look? Just your thoughts on health and in general.
I feel and look good. I'm now looking at myself on this screen. And I see I have short hair and I'm not wearing a cap and the beard's kind of trimmed. I don't even recognize myself, first of all.
And there's no card in this camera.
There is no card in this camera.
Yeah. But to tell us more about your feelings, how you look. Has anybody responded that you love or care about in terms of looking good?
Not an awful lot of people have seen that I've gotten the haircut and all this stuff. So it's just kind of like the people that have seen it, it's accepted.
What's your mom saying? Because she's obviously somebody who raised you, obviously, again, worked her hands to the bone, gave you a private school education, and you just don't care because you want to be that guy living his life. At the moment, though, you are looking somewhat respectable. Just any feedback from the woman who not only gave you 9 months of living without any rent paid, but also continued to give you sort of sanctity and schooling. And all she asks is that you shave and cut your hair, but you haven't cared for about 6 months. Any response from her?
She still doesn't believe that I've gotten a haircut and shaved and stuff. But I have told her that sometimes this black and white filter does make it look like...
No, that's not what it is.
That's what it
Okay, all right, that's not what it is. I've heard enough. It's the fact that you haven't shaved in 8 months. That's why you look absolutely horrendous, considering how handsome you are in real life. So, all right, James, thanks for nothing there. Terrible. Trying to justify your behavior. Okay, another man who has justified the most unspeakable thing. Man United fan, St. David's guy. A Zulu guy, which is still tricky because your tribe did try and burn this whole country down just because of Jacob Gezeklegisa Msholozi Zuma getting sick, going to prison. But otherwise, all around, handsome guy, nice guy, Senzo Steba. What's happening, pal?
Nothing much, my man. Like, what's wrong with you, eh?
What do you mean?
Do you try to get people angry on a Monday?
Oh, is it a lie that... Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do it simple for you.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Was KwaZulu-Natal shut down for a while because they tried to burn everything down?
Well,
Yeah?
They
so
did.
the majority of the people who live in KwaZulu-Natal are from what tribe? Oh, so you're not going to answer that?
Anyway,
Okay.
how was your
And
weekend?
I'm the bad guy.
How's your weekend?
No, I had a great time. I got to be honest with you. Got a haircut, trained a little
see.
bit, you know. Yeah, no, just living my best life. Yeah, I'm saying.
I can see you, my man.
Yeah.
Ola.
I'm feeling... by the way, we were discussing this as well. There are different versions of black. I mean, you are maybe the most watered down version, along with myself and people you know, of blackness. I like that. Even the way you said "hola" didn't sound... You know what I mean?
Okay, it's fine.
You know what I mean?
I try to be a nice guy, but clearly I see you on the
I
warpath.
try to be a nice guy. Let's, everything. Senzo, good to have you here.
Likewise, thanks.
Should
for
get a
having me.
haircut. I mean, you should. Folks,
Bro,
it's
I'm built
important.
different. I'm not you.
There's the only guy who hasn't got a haircut in the whole crew
Imagine.
of the core staff is Senzo Steba letting the team down. But hey, what you gonna do? St. David's been letting.
I must let you guys give you guys the spotlight. Let you guys.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, you know what it is, dog.
Okay.
Because once I start,
Ah, boy, oh
it's
boy.
over for you. Red
Boy,
River.
oh boy. All right, that's what it is. The man next to him, a new face, a guy who. Let's hope I'm good enough as a client, so he'll be taking, he'll be trying to work with the mediocrity that is my body and sort of my mindset, and we'll try and take it to another level. A man who has represented Wits Robertsham is South Africa's version of less BBW though, more of a trim Ashley Cole kind of look. Ladies and gentlemen, it's it's something that I want to do, and maybe before I introduce him, I should say. So I'm big on health lifestyle, and I mean, being an athlete or trying to be an athlete is not always actually the healthiest way to live because you start to push the extremes. But I do like sort of getting a health mindset going, exercise going. I love it, and I am just like, the Catholics will tell you about Jesus. I will tell you about exercise, that because it's all I know, it's what I love, and I think more people need to hear about it, especially in the Republic of South Africa. I cannot speak for other countries, but boy, oh boy, do we need an intervention. So I thought, you know what? It's not just about body shaming. It's about getting the week off to the right start. So, ladies and gentlemen, a guy who, very, very, very much resented by me because he's a better footballer than I ever was. Brad Phillips. Brad, what's happening, pal?
Hey,
Welcome
boys.
to the show.
What's going on? Good.
Yeah. How you doing, Brad? Good to have you here. Maybe we should start off with what you do for a living, how you title yourself.
Okay.
Extremely good looking, by the way. I also resent you and Senzo for that. Makes me look bad.
Please stop lying to Senzo.
All right. It's that kind of Monday.
Keep the gloves on, Senz.
That's fine, dog. Dude. My hands are right here.
Okay, so I'm an exercise physiologist. I've been working in private practice for the last, I'd say about 8 years now. Literally the second I took my boots off, I fell into working within a sports medicine center. A lot of people don't know what exercise physiology is. It's basically the study of how your body functions within totality. So like most exercise physiologists will deal with, they'll function as scientists, true scientists. Cardiac and lung function, they will deal with people coming out of disease, helping them back into normality.
Yeah.
My focus is that, but then I also like to focus on biomechanics as well. Taking individuals from injury through to full performance. That's more or less where my head's at.
Yeah.
Right. The reason why my approach is a little different to what most scientists are is just purely because I don't like to look at things under a microscope, and that you don't isolate if there's an injury or disease. You don't isolate that and then try and function around it. You tend to work with the body as a whole.
Yeah.
And that's always my approach.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Brad, I hope to have you in here as a. I want to start Mondays off because I always hear people saying they have the Monday blues. I haven't had that in 8 years. I just absolutely love getting cracking. So it's great to have you here, dude. It's a different energy. It's somebody who, because everyone says, "Oh, bro, I'm starting gym, bro." Like, okay, well, that's not that interesting. How long are you gonna keep it up for? And to have you here every Monday, Oaks can choose whether to join us or not. And you know, I want somebody in here who fills the space, unlike me, who just says exercise. You actually know what that means, what that looks like, healthy, sustainable. It's not just you running your mouth like I do. It's a matter of I want people to hear from experts, you know. And I don't like I think I'm a bad advert because once I get on my train, I get going. I'm not a very sensitive person, but the difference between you and me is you have the knowledge and you're a good person. That is the difference between us. So I look forward to having your energy and Brad, and thanks so much, bro.
Awesome. I'm keen to be here.
Yeah,
cool.
Lovely. All right, listen, as I do every Monday, I'll tell you where I was right, where I was wrong, and myself, Brad, Senzo will go through what was a cracking weekend. We'll do some social media, and then later on we do have the Formula One that is coming up after the break. We've got Spike Ballantyne, who man, oh man, what a race, what a whole situation that went down there. All right, welcome. You can give me that music. We can get straight into it. I'll start off with where I was right. What a great weekend, by the way, in sport. Yeah, I mean, just an incredible weekend for sport, and I really loved it. I loved everything about what happened, particularly Cristiano Ronaldo. So let's start off with where I was right. Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not even about the results. I think Cristiano Ronaldo will bring the intensity. You know, when you bring people into rooms where there's just expectation. I mean, not just his resume is they're gonna get there, and he's at practice already. Because he's not changing that now. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to bring an intensity that hasn't existed at Man United for 8 years, and I love that for Manchester United, as much as most of the world hates it, is Cristiano Ronaldo will bring an intensity whether you like it or not. That is non-negotiable. That comes with excellence, and I was dead right there. You saw it on the weekend, is at 1-1. Let's turn it up here, gentlemen, and he did what's best. Where I was wrong is, I also saw that Man United are not ready to win. And that's going to be interesting to watch because there were slumps in that Newcastle game where I'm like, what's happening? You're playing Newcastle at home. I need a little more because you've spent the money now and you've got Pogba and you've got Bruno and you still aren't squeezing them. And that's a maturity process. Ronaldo said it himself. So I was wrong. I thought he'd also bring that immediate cutthroat, but that takes time. I was wrong there. Where I was right, the Arsenal are in proper trouble. Because I watched the Norwich game, I watched the whole game, and it's embarrassing how close it was with Norwich. Norwich missed 2 sitters. By the way, they should have been 2-0 up in the first half. Ugh, ugly. Even towards the end, it's a cracking game against Norwich. Now, come on. But I was right, they're in big trouble. Where I was wrong, Demarai Gray, listen, he's had an attitude problem for a long time. Those types of players will, it just happens, right? Demarai Gray has come in though, 2 goals. 3 games. Maybe Rafa's the guy for him. Settle him down, give him a formation where they can absorb that. Rafa, of course, tactically brilliant. And what Rafa will always give his attacking players is a platform. You saw what he did for Gerrard and for in his time, is will create a base for you to be off the leash. Demarai Gray seems to be benefiting there. 2 goals, 3 games. Where I was right, cricket is an amateur organisation because they're telling me they're cancelling the test match, right, for COVID. But then cancel the IPL. India's struggling more than anybody maybe on the planet. No. It's about the money. What's happening? What? A mess. You can't cancel a test match and then have IPL. That I mean, teams are traveling. It's going to be moving and grooving in India. It's an absolute amateur organization. I'm over cricket for now. I may not watch another game for the rest of the year, and I do love cricket. Where I was wrong, Romelu Lukaku, a double. I'm still not sure. But okay, it's now what Chelsea were missing. You saw it. The 2 goals are clinical. It's power, it's pace, it's finishing. It's Paulo Diaz calls it Liverpool selfishness. Lukaku has that thing. Whereas Werner, he's actually looking to pass the ball. He wants to create for other people. Lukaku is a number 9. Liverpool selfishness at work. Where I was right, Novak's an all-timer. I don't like the COVID stuff. He's not for everybody. The great Sir Alex Ferguson saying to Vidic, I want this guy to come in because I need that intensity for our guys to see it. All those years ago, when Vidic arrived, he said, bring your friend over there to talk to our guys. Novak's an all-timer, and he's not the most talented guy. He's worn everybody down now. It's what Novak's has done is, I will outlast you. That's what he's done. I will outlast you. And it's the way he plays tennis. Because if you look, he's got the nerdy double backhand. I can't stand it. But he'll do it on the slide. He'll make you play that extra shot. And you know what? His greatness is that his whole persona is I'll outlast you. Tennis, life, look what he's done now. Right, he lost last night. That's fine. But he will be back. The great Novak Djokovic. Where I was wrong, calendar slams not happening. I thought he was unstoppable. I thought he'd win the Golden Slam. I thought he'd go to the Olympics and just walk it. Played left-handed and not even bother. But I did pick the wrong Ev because Medvedev yesterday delivering. I thought Zverev was the next kid. But my God, these new kids, Tsitsipas, they're going to give him a hard time. But they pushed him and I was wrong on that one. Lastly, where I was right, international football. Just can the whole thing. The Brazil-Argentina thing sucks for everyone. It sucks for football, it sucks for Brazilians, sucks for Argentines, because what does it do? It reinforces the stereotype that Brazil and Argentina are a mess. Bad for South America, bad for the product, bad for local economy. It's like, ugh, what's going on in Brazil? Please don't think the world's not seeing that. And I know we always think about ourselves, but people are going, oh, what's going on in Brazil? What a mess. Cancel my trip. We have other places to go. I'm going to Zanzibar. So international football sucks. It's not because the football sucks, it's because FIFA sucks. Like, simple. Sorry, let's just play club football. Because you know what I want? I want players to get paid. I don't want players being embarrassed on international television. That's not the player's fault. That's nerds and politicians getting involved. That's what happened there. I'm not into it. I'm sorry. It's an absolute mess. Where I was wrong, I'll finish off on this one. The Box lost to Australia. I mean, come on, lads. Come on. Maybe it's because of the dangerous animals there. The Lalong, which we've cleared up, was just a massive crocodile.
But that thing was the size of a dinosaur, dude.
It was a massive crocodile.
It was the size
Crocodile is a dinosaur.
Yeah, it is. That's
exactly.
So that works. A crocodile is a dinosaur.
Yeah, but that thing was like 3 of me.
Okay, it's not that big.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's how tall are you? 178?
180.
180. I mean, that's you're not Edwin van der Sar.
I didn't say I was, but
3 of you. I mean, that's just a standard crocodile.
okay, cool then. Moving swiftly along.
James, a Lalong.
The Lalong.
You cleared it up. It sounded like a breed of animal, but it's actually just a massive crocodile named Lalong. Australians, the most ridiculous namers of anything in the world.
All of what you've just said is correct.
Yeah.
It is a terrifying looking animal, as
Yeah.
well as the name is just bizarre.
Kookaburra. You know Kookaburra? That's a bird.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Oh,
It's
Australians.
also the name of the cricket company, right?
Sorry,
The cricket company came first.
Yeah.
Came first.
So tell me about that. Yeah.
What came first, the bird or the bat?
It's the classic. The
It's
classic.
the classic conundrum, huh?
It is the
bird or the bat?
the 164. The 164 or the bird. The 164 is a measurement of the size of a cricket ball. By the way, James, you have no idea about that because you stopped. You stopped playing when?
To a horse.
Grade 6 or 7, I think.
Why did you stop cricket? Did you know 20 years ahead that they turned it into a mess?
Yep, that's the reason. Yes.
Unbelievable. James, great face,
Yeah.
by the way. You look
Thank
so
you.
good shape. Listen, Brad, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's back. You support Manchester United for all your sins. Your thoughts on that, the vibe? I mean, it's been a long time since there was a feel-good factor with United.
Oh, definitely, man. The cool thing that I think he brings now is, you've said intensity, but now everyone else has to step up because no one has had the balls to step up.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruno's tried a few times.
Yeah.
Harry, let's not talk about Harry actually ever. Sorry, that's the last time his name comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But no one's brought that little bit of fighting spirit. And this guy does it. He fights purely with himself.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that he can beat himself the next time he does something. It's incredible. And actually, watching this weekend, you could somewhat see it in patches. Even Pogba was doing all kinds of crazy things because of it. So it's amazing to see.
Yeah. Listen, you're in performance. You know, like if you're talking about, even if it's just your classic citizen just recovering from something, you know what I mean? How often do you see people like Ronaldo hit that wall and just get comfortable, or unlike Ronaldo, sorry, is that, a lot of people are going to come back to you, okay, my knee's fine, I love his mindset of it's never enough. But even in your practice, I mean, how many people do you see with that mindset? Like, they get there and then they just fall off.
Jeez, you see it all the time, man. A lot of the time, if you out of sight, that's when people stop doing what they need to. So small things like I'll do little reinforcements and I'll say the same thing to them over and over again. And even if they're doing the thing that I'm telling them to do, I'll say it even more so. Just so you try and just plant something in their heads, because majority of the time, people don't like to think while they're working, and they don't like to push beyond a certain point. They get lazy. We're made to get lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what it is. 4 sugars in a cup of tea over here.
I mean, let's talk about that, Senzo. We were just talking before the show about you having 4 cups or 4 sugars.
4 cups of sugar.
With your cup, yeah. I mean, you might as well.
No.
You might as well. You might as well have 4 cups with any. So
really...
just that sugar thing. Are you gonna stop, or you just?
Nah, bruh. What? Because you guys say so. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I should cut down actually. You guys are.
No, but now you're saying it.
No. You're right.
Will you cut?
Yes, I will.
All right, but now you've said it. Now Brad's here.
Of course, I will.
We can test this, by the way.
Of course you can.
We can do blood tests.
Of course you can.
And I don't want you, because you're a good guy, I don't want you to be a liar.
Not.
So you can cut down, or you're going to cut down? Because now we need to get down. Let's get into it.
Do you want me to cut down?
Mr. Senzo, how does who's the guy that does the commission? Judge Zondo.
Yeah.
Mr. Sesep, will you be cutting down on the sugar?
Listen, Chair, I don't want to say anything that might incriminate me.
Okay. See, I knew that's where we were going to go.
No, I will cut down.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to force you to make promises.
No. You put me on a public platform, so now.
So now, what you have to do it. Okay. Well, I mean, since we're here now, so what sort of timeline are we talking about? Because
you give me a timeline.
So let's say, I mean, by the end of the year, I think it's reasonable for you to be doing 1 sugar.
Cool.
Because
that's fine.
Everyone commits. Brad, I'm sure you see this all the time, where
non-stop.
People say, "Oh, I'm stopping booze."
Yeah.
It's like no. It's just you don't need 10 beers. And if you do want to stop, it's 10 beers, cut it to 4.
That's exactly it.
No, of course.
You still have to live, man. Still have to live.
And that's fine. Listen.
Yeah.
You're holding me to a standard, and yeah. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. You know who did accept the challenge? Cristiano Ronaldo. Your guy is back.
Of course, dog.
Now your phone went AWOL, so you didn't.
But I got another phone. But
you didn't pester all of us with your memes.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you had.
I was waiting for James. I was like, damn it.
Where were you? Who did you watch the game with?
I watched it with a very close friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were guys going bananas?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Your feelings, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's back.
We even did the whole celebration.
Oh, let's go. What, in the house?
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome. How big is this guy's house?
No, it's reasonable.
Wealthy guy, huh? Hang around.
He's doing okay with himself.
Do you roll with the rich guys?
No.
You did go to school in Ilova.
Oh my goodness, it's not about me.
Oh, well, we are talking to you. So, hey, good for you for having wealthy friends. But Cristiano Ronaldo, the guy is...
Nice, sensational.
Is he,
but what Brad said, like he's right, because now somebody is the alpha dog. And now, because before, guys were trying to force to be the alpha dog, you know what I mean? Like, now it's like natural. We all know it's that guy. You know what I mean? And that's...
And what are we thinking then? Huh? Say it, because I can...
What do you think I'm going to say?
No, what are you thinking? Let's hear it.
What do you think I'm thinking?
He came back, he scored 2 goals, United are feeling good, Ronaldo...
No, but we
like
still...
1% body fat.
No, listen, there's still a lot to do, because did you see the goal that we conceded?
I did see the goal.
Did you see what Harry Maguire was doing?
He was sitting on his bum.
Exactly, so like, yeah. Before they rob him of the captaincy, they'll say, hey, Chief, the thing's too heavy for you. Just give it a shot. Let me show you how it's done.
What's a bigger thing than Ronaldo coming back and playing is the fact that Fred didn't start.
Yeah.
That's actually the reason why they won. Yeah.
But, I don't know, but you're right, though, because the thing is, like, now guys are elevating to another level, because now they know it's real now. This guy's here, and this guy doesn't accept mediocrity.
Yeah. You know what the tough part I'm looking forward to seeing is that unfortunately Cristiano Ronaldo is, as much as he's the guy, he's not 23-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo who can run up and down. Is that as much as he brings that intensity, like there's nothing he can do to be Sancho. You know, you can see Sancho's just a different guy. Give me the ball. In fact, he should be playing South African football, Sancho. The way he likes to stand on it. And what happens when it's 1-0 down and Sancho doesn't want to get back. Because Ronaldo at 23 is getting the ball, playing a 1-2 from the edge of his own box.
Sure.
And Brad, you've played at this level. It's like when you've got that guy and he's the best player, which is what made, I think, Ronaldo first time round for United. It's just, I don't know if they've ever had one like him. Not only is he the alpha, Ballon d'Or, but he's the hardest working guy. That's so rare. You know from football, the talented guys
definitely. But also, if you think about, so you're mentioning his age and a few other things. If you look at what he is, he just happened to, he didn't fall upon it, but I mean, he's created a space where he's always sitting at the best version of himself. So he knows exactly what he can give to the sport.
Yeah.
A guy like Jaden still doesn't know what type of football he is just yet. And you can tell that with his first game. Barely went past the play. I guess it's also got to do with the fact that he's getting used to a team and a few other things. Maybe he doesn't have that confidence yet. But if he loses the ball, a guy like Cristiano, and I'll mention Bruno again, they will jump on his back. Yeah. And he deserves it.
Yeah,
You're 21 years old. Yeah, you're earning big money, but you're still a youngster in a squad as big as Man United.
Hey, and that intensity is not for everybody.
It really isn't.
I think Man United has learned that, it was... The most interesting one, I was talking to somebody on the weekend, was about the Schweinsteiger signing, Is Basti wasn't that guy anymore, but he'd come from Bayern Munich where that intensity is all the time. Like, we won. No, we expected. Let's get back in the change room. When he arrived, it was probably so weird for him to be patching things up that he wasn't the same player he was. And then now also, where's the thing, guys? Like, are we here to win or play? And I'm interested to see how it unfolds with Ronaldo, because I think... And I was talking to one of my mentors. I was at his house yesterday. And he was just talking about legendary people and somebody who mentored him. Was that we don't appreciate just what it takes to be Cristiano Ronaldo until it's gone. Because then you'll see the vacuum. Like, everyone's going nuts about Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is nothing on what Cristiano Ronaldo... I'm sorry, I don't care how much you hate Manchester United. If you saw Cristiano Ronaldo 21 to 23,
different
those
animal.
2 years, just...
Different animal.
I like Haaland. I really, really like him. But Ronaldo, that was unplayable.
But the thing is, like, to be doing it for a long time, like, you think of it, you're like, okay, this guy's doing it. And he does it again. And again. And again. And again. And again. It's relentless.
He is. But that's the word.
It's relentless.
Well, the it thing keeps changing.
Yeah.
Which is good. So it's like most other footballers, they are what they are. They turn, well, not just footballers, sportsmen in general. They've got that certain X factor that makes them who they are. They don't change.
And they don't step out of that mold,
Yeah. He just keeps adapting to what his model is. He knows that, well, I'm not the person who's going to run past people now, even though he did it once or twice over the weekend. He's not going to try and do 15 step overs, but what he's perfected now is movement in the box, making sure that he's always sitting on the defender's shoulder and he's attacking that goalkeeper.
But do you know what hits me about it? It's like, okay, the guy knows where the ball is going to be. Like, second ball, you know Ronaldo's going to be... like after the keeper fumbled the first goal, you knew that, okay, this guy's going to be there. Even for his second goal, Shaw didn't have to do anything. He said, okay, here, this guy's going to be at the end of it.
Now, having said that, I was watching Liverpool Leeds yesterday, and I saw the difference between very good and world class. Patrick Bamford has a very similar ball play to him, where that first touch, and he just doesn't... Ronaldo, that first touch... Listen, if you haven't played the game at a proper level, that touch by Ronaldo from Luke Shaw is so special because he's flying already. That first touch to kiss it, eliminate the defender, because that touch takes the defender out of it. Because you know what Ronaldo's doing? If the defender comes back at him, he steps, it might be a red card. I mean, but that touch is sublime, and we have to discuss this. And you guys are United fans, so you have to be honest.
Sure.
Did the Newcastle keeper have Ronaldo in his fantasy team and triple captain him? Because
probably
both of those goals, Brad, did you see that?
No, it's a shame.
Probably, yeah.
No, terrible. It's like, you're a high-end professional, you're playing in the best league in the whole entire world, you're the top 1% of the top 1%.
Yes.
If you do that, you're worse than Karius from Liverpool.
James, just, okay, wow, that reference, I mean, I didn't want it for you, but we might as well since we're here. Do you remember when Karius put the assist, Karim Benzema Champions League final? He rolled it to Karim Benzema, who's one of the greatest goal scorers of the modern era. Do you remember that whole thing? Karius, great hair, not such a great keeper.
One of the greatest assists I've ever seen in my entire life.
What's he thinking there?
His excuse was that he's concussed, if I'm not mistaken. That was his thing. After the game, he said he was concussed after, I think, Bale's shot. And that's why he let in the Benzema goal, or he made the Benzema pass or whatever.
What?
Yeah, that was his thing.
But do you know Liverpool guys, every time they lose, it's because of an injury.
Someone else.
Nah, he was injured.
Oh,
Just say no, we're garbage. If you're garbage, you're garbage.
Did you see the United goals? Not sure if you saw. Sort of Karius keeping, as Brad has said, incredibly bad.
The United goals from this weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, but anyway, you've seen Karius, so it was that.
But mind you, the other two goals were sublime.
Bruno's, wow.
Bruno's one and
Lingard.
Yeah,
It
Lingard's
was nice to see him step up.
Yeah.
Jay Lings, eh?
Yeah, everyone thought he was dead in the water.
Yeah.
Then West Ham got some confidence.
Yes.
Like I always preach that confidence is 40% of whatever you are as a player, and you can see it with a dude like him.
Man, you nailed it.
yeah. So do you know who should be very worried?
Yeah.
Tony Marshall.
Is he worried or accept his fate? I mean,
I think his face just says that he's always constipated. I
what,
don't know.
but what is Martial's deal? Like, you're very rich. You know, you've got maybe one of the best looking girlfriends in the world. You play. If you're in sport, you want to be at Man United. It's the biggest brand in the world. Forget about the American stuff. No, like I like Jerry, but stop it. Manchester United, from corner to corner. You're the number 9 at Man United. What's Dennis Law, eh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's what you got on your
No,
back.
it's Bobby Charlton.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Man United striker, what's going to make him smile? Maybe his cryptocurrency.
Thank you.
I don't know if
crashed, yeah.
that'll work either.
Maybe he forgot his cryptocurrency password.
Maybe just give the guy enema and let's see what happens.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, before we go to the break, before the show, there's a lot of stuff that happens before the show every single day. Senzo Steve every time he opens his mouth, especially when it's about shows. It's the most exciting thing in the world. Now, you've told me about a new show.
It's not new.
No excuse, pay pap geld.
Yeah.
Tell me everything before we go to the break.
So it's for the deadbeat dads. So let's say
So what's a deadbeat dad? Let's start
a
there.
deadbeat dad is a dad that has children but doesn't, provide for them and take care of his responsibilities as a man. So like, pay pap geld is basically for people like that. So what will happen is that the baby mama will come with whoever the presenter is and say, listen, chief, the kids need school socks.
Yeah.
Or you're out here finessing, living your best life with slave queens, but the kids are going to school with no socks.
Is it ever rich guys? Like I'd love for it to be like a guy in Santon and who's the presenter? Do you know?
Well,
Guy
just
who
to be
went to
Dr.
school-
Malinga.
Maybe the guy who went to school at in Ilovo, maybe.
Yo, imagine it's one of your mates. Senzo, what would you do? St. David's
I'd
guy?
laugh at him. Oh,
Awesome.
that'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
I'd change his name immediately on my cell phone to Bob Geld.
Say
No excuse.
a man who was found at Rabbit Over the Moon, and he went straight to Hog's Head, and then they pitched up and said, "Pay your pap geld, you useless yappy." That would be incredible. That is the show that needs to get made. Who needs to host that? Sally Burdett. She's classy.
No.
Like-
You don't need. We need the trash boy.
Who's the host for Ilovo, U Oaks? You need the black guy who's like you. Is not. We don't want out. We need the Hazard Oaks.
Oh, really?
Come on, bro. Your wife sees.
We'll get you to host this.
No, do you reckon?
Yeah.
I come through. How's it, but
It's unacceptable.
no, boy, I don't mind if you got the new whip, but
Come on,
listen,
bro.
the Betty's saying here that
The sticky, bro.
come on, boy. Hey, let's
Come
all
on,
play
man.
the game, yeah, pal.
Hey, it's not cricket, bro.
All right, I don't mind. I mean, finish your burger and then we can talk outside. Let's go. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the MKT Show. We got plenty coming up on the other side. Good call. You made a good call. Now, there's a lot of people, I did get 1 or 2 messages saying, hey, that's not how to bring a show back, but I'm revolutionizing broadcasting. So excuse me if I'm trying to change the face of something that human beings have been doing since time immemorial. It's a little harder than it looks, you know? Just revolutionizing the way people speak and listen. It's not that easy.
It's not for everyone.
It's not that easy, you know what I mean?
And those who have suggestions, then let them start their own show and then...
Well, I don't want to be that guy. But I mean,
No.
You know, when you start your own show, you can start to do it your own way.
Exactly.
So, you know, I'm
But they're
not
giving
as good.
feedback, but like... It's done.
I'm also not talented. You know, like Rob is talented. Rob Marawa is talented. You know, all these guys. I gotta really go for it. So, you know, that's how we bring it back, Brad. You probably thought you were coming to a professional show. Little did you know, this is how I bring the show back.
I just pull the cooler box out and we can have a chat.
How's this guy? All right, the most reliable thing in the world, obviously we all know, is social media. Nobody's ever lied on there, been nasty to anyone. Everyone fact checks everything on there. Senzo, what do you have for us from social media? Brad, feel free to comment on some of
The first thing that I have
stuff.
is Daniel Medvedev pulling the upset. Like, I think this one of the biggest upsets we've seen in tennis in a while. You know, Medvedev actually quite convincingly beat Djokovic in straight sets, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. And, you know, Djokovic was the overwhelming favorite.
He was.
But yeah, 25-year-old Medvedev, he finally got over that bump because he was always the bridesmaid and never the bride. So
Yeah.
yesterday was his time.
Russian guy, huh?
Yeah.
The Russians do that kind of stuff well. Tennis, for whatever reason, USSR, they've always been good.
Mm-hmm.
What a racket.
Yeah. Trust me, it was a racket. But I've never seen Djokovic...
James, what a racket. The tennis, what a racket.
I must say that is one of my favorite ever puns you've made, and you've made many that
I'm not
have
shy.
hurt me.
What a racket.
What a racket, huh?
Huh? Got me. All right, James.
So-
Wanted to share that with you.
So, yeah. But also what was weird is Djokovic, like, I've never seen Djokovic that emotional. So maybe it probably got to him that I might never have a chance to do this again and be on the cusp of history like that. Because for me, I've always felt like Djokovic, you know, for as good as he is and all that he's done for the sport and like the records that he holds, that he always feels like he'll always be on the outside looking in. You know what I mean?
Brad, you a tennis guy?
Well, I don't watch tennis.
Yeah.
Unless it's on, really.
Yeah.
But a guy like him, that mindset is different level.
It's elite.
And there must be a reason why he did fall at the rafters.
Now, tell me something about... I love that you said mindset, because, you know, Medvedev, shout out to you. I mean, bloody hell. Listen, I lived in Russia for 6 months. I don't know how they get so good at tennis. It is not an ideal place to live. It is not an ideal place to live. He's the champion of the US Open.
25 years
crazy.
old.
Are Russian
Crazy.
athletes just... Are we open now? By the way, there was a tiny little thing where the whole government was organizing for guys to get a little extra help. Are we just... We over that because we need the oil from Gazprom as Europe.
Yeah.
All right, no,
Think
fair
so,
enough. We move on. The mindset thing, and I mean, while we're here, we might as well speak about it. It's like I try and it's funny. We had a conversation on Gareth Cliff's show this morning. Shout out to the GCS, by the way. That's Gareth Cliff, one of the biggest voices probably in African radio history. I I was talking about it this morning, is mindset is so important to me, but I'm starting to realize more and more. Like, people say I'm intense, with just the way I roll. And I don't know what to do with them, because I'm like, if you were to meet my father, you have no idea what intense is. But mindset is for me, everything, is being deliberate, being all those things. Is like, how much of wellness is mindset? Because a lot of people think you just go to the gym and I'm lacquer and that'll come. But
I would say majority of it is. You have to make a decision as to what you want to achieve. You want to realize what the objective of that decision is. So the only way you can achieve that thing is if you stick at it day after day to get there. And I mean, that is you setting yourself within a state of mindset. I mean, the amount of kids that I've had to deal with, helping out with various levels of injury and little periodization plans, etc. That's the first thing that goes at the wayside. If a kid's head is not in within the sport at that moment in time, that's when their game starts to dwindle. And we're just big kids.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same thing. And we see it all the time. I mean, I know that I played some soccer with certain guys that you played soccer with.
Yeah.
And we mentioned one of the guys the other day as well. Prolific striker, was dead set on the fact that he was going to score. And he did. Yeah. Every single time he touched the ball. And I don't know if I'm allowed to mention his name.
Of course.
Yeah, so like a kid named Seth Hutchins, in front of goal, ruthless. Dad would say, hey, my boy, score a hat-trick and I'll buy you a four-wheeler. Half-time comes, hat-trick. Where's my four-wheeler? Just mindset, crazy. But when he got a bit older, things stopped coming as easily. And that's when he fell off the chart as a footballer.
Yeah.
So, that's case in point. Another guy we could even mention is, footballer again, like an Excellence Walaza. Out of my generation, he was the first dude to turn pro. All of a sudden, not even a year later, he's in the Bafana squad, lots of international teams looking out for the gent. And I remember one interview where they literally said to him, so there's lots of international teams that are looking out for you. What do you need to do to change? And he's like, what do you mean? I don't need to change anything. 3 years later, 4th division in South Africa.
Wow.
Wild. That's mindset.
That is mindset.
Yeah, you just need to be relentless, eh?
No, listen, it's easy. And you know what? I think, Brad, I'll be honest with you. Something I don't enjoy so much is people on Instagram talking about mindset, because I feel like people want... let me give you an example. I had such a great... You put it so well there. So my little nephew and we're having a little bit of a situation because they're struggling with him at home. The yuppie kid. I mean, middle class, for goodness sake. And he's whinging about everything. He's like, I'm under pressure. No, you went to private school. You're not under pressure, pal. Stop the nonsense. But he's just... It's a different generation. Like, I have to be honest, I'm realizing I'm getting old because I hear so many things. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm talking middle class kids. I'm not talking people with financial problems here. I'm just, like, my mental health. Say, Paul, what are you talking about? But I don't understand the mindset. And he came to me and he said something really, really interesting. And it was such an eye-opener for me. And I'm glad you said mindset. And he said, I really want the things you have, work at Cliff Central with Gareth, got the show, got this, got that. And I said to him, no. You want the things that I have, you're not willing to do the things that I do to get them. Now, that's not the same thing, pal. And he can't make that correlation, Is everybody, I'm sure, in your space, is like, I don't know how most clients would come to you and say, what do people say to you? Do they say, I want to get fit, I want a six-pack? Or do they say, I want to get healthy? How do general people approach health?
Well, it is exceptionally broad. I mean, the type of person I'll get... so pediatricians will send me a 6-year-old child who supposedly has like low effort tolerance, which that's supposedly now that's a diagnosis.
Is that a thing?
Supposedly. Low effort tolerance. They've got a weak core and low muscle tone. No, they're just bored.
6.
They're just bored.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I mean, how old is your nephew?
20.
He's 20.
No, he's a grown-up.
Okay, so I was expecting it to be a kid.
No. He's a 20-year-old man. Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, like how you would.
Yeah.
But you're right,
the man. 100%, man. So that he hasn't understood what it means to go from setting a goal to achieving a goal. But it's like this instant gratification world that we live in today, and kids at that age especially live within it. They see it being as simple as creating a follow on Instagram, and you feel like you get to watch someone living a certain lifestyle, and I think it's that easy.
Yeah.
And people don't understand the time and effort that you have to put into things, and that has to be shown. So like if I'm helping a child out, if it's soccer related or whatever it is, unless I check up on them, a lot of the time they end up falling off the rafter, then they struggle to achieve what they would like to achieve, and then all of a sudden it comes that state of depression starts to pop into the mix, and the game goes out the window.
Yeah.
But it's just because nothing is truly tracked, and they don't understand that it takes a bit of time to get there.
Absolutely.
But Senzo, before I come to you, I just want to know something, Brad. You know, another thing I hate on Instagram is like where we've got pop psychology now, and I have morons. And so my mom's a psychiatrist, so I dismiss 99% of the nonsense I hear about psychology is that it takes 21 days to break a bad habit, and I go, get the hell out of here with that. I want you to get out of my face and never speak to me again when you say stupid things like that. It's like, what's the reality? Because, so, I always tell people this. I was a delinquent in my 20s. I drank, I boozed away a football career. I just boozed and ruined nearly every relationship I had in my 20s, right? Because of boozing and being quite frankly, a nutcase, you know, and unbearable. I wouldn't be friends with that guy. But it took me sort of 5-6 years to break bad habits. So I quit drinking in 2013. Around 2018, I started to where I didn't have to think about the changes. It's just I woke up on time. It's like for you is okay. I'm just your regular guy now. Things are going wrong. Forget it. It's not even about I want chicks. I just want to go and have a healthy mindset for 3 days of the week. You know, is generally for you. How long does it take for normal like me and a normal Joe Blow to turn it around? Like from sedentary to active. Forget about performance now. Like, what have you tracked, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the big thing is, it's when that individual decides to take something seriously. And it could be, I could deal with the same person for 3 years, and they're not going anywhere. All of a sudden, something happens, and they're like, okay, cool, now I need to take this seriously. And that's literally when it starts. So it's the whole, it takes 21 days. Well, it can't be true. You can't set a date or a time to it. It's when that individual finally says, hey, I'm actually willing to put my hand up and step up to the plate. And that's usually where the issues lie.
And what is it, when you're saying that, because that's an interesting thing to say, you know, that could mean when I say seriously, and when James says seriously, and when Senzo says seriously, and when you say seriously, that could mean different things. But for you as a practitioner, qualified man, when you say seriously, like, again, I want to be this, you know, most people are just going through life. You know, it's hard. I'm working 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Is when you say seriously, like, could you maybe just give me an example of what you mean, like something you want to hear from them or see from them?
Well, like, as much as I'm a scientist at heart, right, that because I'm dealing with people, you deal with the emotional side of people majority of the time. And I live my life based on intention, right? The second someone puts their intention into something, that's the only time you see them start to get anywhere.
Yeah. And do you have to pull it out of them, or do you always find...
So sometimes you get certain individuals that you do try and pull it out of them. You have to win them over, gain a bit of confidence. Depends on what their mindset is, like, and I'll say the word again, but depends on where they're at that moment in time. So sometimes you have to fish a little, drag it out. I've dealt with a few like autistic kids as well, that you gain trust, and then all of a sudden they put their trust in you, and you keep them entertained, and then they literally they reach for the stars. It's incredible, because they're all or nothing kind of people. You know?
Yeah.
But with most people, the second they put their brains to something and they want to achieve it, that's the first time that they'll actually try and do it.
And you've been a pro baller. It's like, for me, my biggest thing is, again, I'm not as articulate as you are because I'm not an empath. So for me, like, when I commit, I like to think, but I don't know. It's easy for me to say is I'm all in. Like, I'm all in. So that's my disposition, and it's how my father raised me. I'm just, I don't know another way, which is maybe too much. They need people like you. But for you is, why do people struggle to commit to stuff? Have you ever, I think about these things all the time. It's like, something simple is, why can't people just commit to their health? Like, why can't you be all in? What are some of the things you're seeing that hey, real life happens as well? Is, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I got the life I have. People have their mental stuff. That's not for me to say. But what are some of the things you've encountered where you think to yourself, all right, that's real, and some of that stuff, it's like, that's not real?
the big thing is change is difficult. Change is the most difficult thing to deal with because we're so used to doing things a certain way. Our bodies are built to just continue habitually. Breaking a habit ends up being difficult as well.
Sure.
Got a friend in the back who can't drink water.
I mean, let's bring him on there. That's a great point. Now, Ryan, new guy in the team, great guy, sound guy, gets it. Ryan, you're saying you can't. Earlier, he said something which I found absolutely incredible, blew me away. He said, I can't drink water. Ryan, a lot of people saying, what the hell are you talking about, pal? Oh, no, we can't hear him. We can't hear him. You got to turn the mic on.
Sorry, there we go.
Oh no!
Sound
first
guy.
day on the job, and
Sound
the guy.
guy.
Oh, and he's the sound guy, by the way. That's the sort of hell I'm in now for the next 6 to 8 years,
Ever
hopefully.
Since I was in school, never been able to drink water.
What's the story, pal?
Can't take it. I'd rather be thirsty and wait till I can find something else.
It's unbelievable.
See, that's a mindset thing. You like with anything as a kid, you don't like the green stuff that your parents give you until eventually you get to an age where you're like, actually, you need the green stuff, and then you start having the green stuff. I mean, that's as simple as it is.
It's a mindset thing, and mindset's tough. You know, again, there's only one Novak Djokovic ever, you know, and there's levels to that. Like,
Yeah.
I was at a mentor's place yesterday. I can't tell you, this guy is brutal on me, and I think I'm pretty hard on myself. This guy is brutal, and he told me some truths yesterday about mindset that I was not ready to hear it, and he got me in my feels. And it made me think about this. I'm so glad you brought it up. And it's something we'll cover more and more of. Because I think the big challenge for people is they never know where to start. You know, for me, when I was a mess of a human, it felt like everything's a mess. Why bother?
Yeah.
Like there's no coming. My mum, I've ruined my relationship with my mother, my sister, my friends. All of it sucks. Let me keep boozing. The whole thing sucks anyway. Everybody hates me already. And the worst part is, oh no, now I hate myself. What's the point?
Yeah.
And I think that's a starting point, right? It's just tick over from there. What do you say to guys who are struggling now? Like, what is your first thing that you'd say to me? You know, whatever. My girlfriend is not happy. I'm overweight. I come to you and say, my relationship needs help, and I want to start with myself.
Well, the most unsympathetic thing you could say to someone is also the biggest truth. Pull the band-aid off. Literally, just pull. You just have to friggin' do it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, because the problem is we're all waiting for some sort of validation from somebody. And the thing is, nobody owes you anything in the world.
100%.
You owe it to yourself. You know what I mean? And if you can't make that decision for yourself, no one else will do it for you.
Hey, but that is brutal. I mean,
but it's the truth, though.
Yeah, the truth can be hard. It can be hard to swallow, and I think, Brad, mindset is such an important thing. By the way, Brad, I know the facility where you are going to be trying to rip my hamstrings off the rest of my body and etc. I may not make it to the show next week.
But you chose it.
Yeah, I mean, without pain, how do you know you're alive? But Brad, where do you train? What's the vibe there? Because I like the vibe. I went there, moving, grooving. I mean, I've already met some incredible people there that forget about health. I mean, that are just going to do things for me on a business front and a mindset front, by the way.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So currently got my practice within an entity called Gold's Gym. It's South Africa, or Santon, because it's the first one on the continent. The coolest part about it is that we're trying to keep the space as personal as possible. Every interaction you've got is as personal as possible. I mean, so much so that the guys who own and run the gym are literally 5 meters away from you. If you want to have a conversation, you have a conversation. Guys get things done.
Yeah.
Which starts like tapping into that whole mindset concept. I mean, the GM of the gym, a guy named Devin Miller, shout out, he did the
Montessori's.
He did Montessori, and then he also did the Sky Run pre-race camp this weekend.
Yeah.
The boy put his hand up, volunteered to run with the best oaks there in the main group, and he finished first.
Yeah.
That's mindset. I mean, he comes from a rowing background. They're built to just go. You literally, you've got a job to be done, and you put everything into it. They're built to do that. So, I mean, incredible.
He is incredible.
Yeah, 60 Ks on the Saturday.
Sure.
40 Ks on the Sunday with a 2,500 elevation.
Yeah.
Crazy on the first day. 2,000 on the second day. Madness. And
No, it's madness. In the Wittenberg Mountains, by the way. Listen, if you are from the Eastern Cape, you know what I'm talking about. I have done the race you are talking about. It is incredible for him to do that.
Yeah. And first time ever doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, I get case in point when it comes to mindset.
Yeah.
These are the type of people we're dealing with. Now, the big thing is you don't have to be an athlete to be there. We just want people who want to show some level of intention to look out for themselves, and we'll help you get there. I mean, well, that's sort of the mantra of the space in which I'm working at.
I love it. Yeah, and listen, I've been to the gym. I am not, like, I'm big on this, is I am not going to promote stuff that... So most of the guys in here have heard me say this, but I will never ask, and this is again from my old man, I will never ask something of somebody else that I'm not willing to do myself.
Yeah.
So I don't promote things if I don't know. Like, that's why I said to you, I want to come meet you the first time. I like to meet people. Okay, I went to go see the gym, is that I'm at the gym. So I'm happy to promote people like you. And I love that space. It's also, what I liked about it was, I mean, I've never been a gym guy because I like to run ultras. That's mostly a solo thing, right? Is I like that it's not also that whole, yes, Oaks, let's just come in here and lift and get hectic. Like, that's not for me, pal. I'm into performance and wellness. I don't need to look juiced to go take my shirt off at a nightclub. Yeah. And I love that vibe, right? Yeah, I'm saying, Saint. Yeah, what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get you, which is good, because the thing is, it means you're leading by example. Because the thing is, people aren't what they say, they're what they do, and
Well, yeah, definitely. Most gyms, like you said, there's the butt vibe.
Yeah.
Guys just want to get thick, want to get jacked.
For the ladies, but
yeah, and then they want to call themselves athletes as well. On top of that, well, the objective is you should be able to do all of those things comfortably.
Yes.
But you said it nicely. It's about intention.
That's
what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then once you get to the bottom of that, then it makes things, I wouldn't say easy, but it makes your path kind of clearer, and you know what you have to do. So if you just want to get jacked for the chicks, then
bro, that's you.
So Gold's Gym, huh? Yeah, you got to go there, Senzo. You get in there just like, oh, I want to get fit in here. Oaks are for real. And what I love is some gyms do have chubby trainers. Not that gym. Not because you're your own advert. And by the way, the guy Devin that he spoke about, I met him. The guy is what, 1% body fat, maybe negative integer body fat. The guy is
serious about it.
No, but he's his product. The guy, I love that. Hey, here's what I do. So he's the GM of a gym, right? And a proper, I would say, it's not actually a gym, and I know it's called that, but it's more of a lifestyle area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It is get your mind in the right place. Let's get to work. Gym puts the boot vibe on.
Because the thing is, they say this quite a lot. They say, healthy body, healthy mind, and I think that's really true, because you're not gonna go there if you don't believe in what you're doing.
Bro, before you go, bro, and this is the first time you've had us. If somebody's like, sometimes one thing I've encountered with people, because I do get DMs from people sometimes, they wanna get into the life, but again, okay, so I'll use running because running's my thing. I know a lot of people who want to run, but they feel on the outside, right? I don't look like a runner or whatever. For you, do you have like one thing where you could just go, just start here? Like, everybody always looks outwards, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you have maybe just one thing for us before you run?
Well, the big thing is, I mean, if someone does call me, no matter what their diagnostics are, I'd usually say, let me see what you're about first, right? So I'll do my own little baseline assessment to figure out where the deficits are. And the big thing is, every little deficit can be corrected.
Yeah.
As much as, so if you approach the right kind of people, within a particular space, don't be afraid to look for help from other individuals. So like, someone doesn't like to run, they're a little bit overweight, they hate the sensation of just trotting over and over. It's painful. There's a reason for that. You potentially just aren't strong enough to be able to do those things.
Got you.
What people don't realize is that since school, like once they've left school, your body starts to break itself down automatically if you don't use it.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you start getting exceptionally weak. Now you try and run because you could run, and your body's not reacting the way you'd like it to, and it hurts. So what I would usually say to an individual like that is, let's see what you're about, and we'll help you get there. Just set a goal, set an intention, And like, don't be afraid to ask for help. We go straight to the internet. We're like, okay, cool. I'm going to try and follow this 21-day running program. It's not going to work, man.
And mindset. But I think that, hey, before guys come to you is, maybe I heard you wrong, but I'd like to think I'm speaking for you correctly here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but get the mindset right first. Don't worry about what people think of you in shorts.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, just walk. Even before you come to Brad, walk.
Yeah.
Maybe do a month of just walk. Half an hour.
The main thing, and I actually said it to you the other day, was you just literally have to move. Most of us get stuck behind a desk, whatever it is. We don't move. Get up and just twist your body a little bit. Little active stretches on the regular. Otherwise, certain things start going to sleep and you start to store things. Then you start losing confidence within yourself because you're not looking the way you want to.
Yeah.
Just move. Whatever it is. A couple stretches, trot around the park, whatever it is, you can do it.
I have to get my mindset right.
Not you. Not you.
But Brad, dude, it's an awesome thing, and this is the way I want to start my Mondays. Like talking about this kind of stuff, because again, I'm sorry, I will not change on this. Stop the Monday blues thing. Like, I know it's like jokey, all of us get into it. Like, you're going to be dead very soon. 80 years is not long. Like, I'm sorry, I'm that brutal.
Yeah.
I want to be epic for the next, I got about 45 years left. Like, you're going to be dead soon. Intention. So, Brad, dude, thank you. And I hope you can come back. The energy you bring
this is fun.
It's dope, it's intense.
Yeah,
but
so
it's good.
I hope you're here next Monday, Brad. It'll be awesome to make this a habit. And if guys have questions, I mean, where do they? I don't know if you know this, on the streets they say, where can they hit you up?
Heard that once or twice.
Yeah.
No. So, I mean, you can hit me up on my Instagram handle. I've actually got another page called Movement Savvy page.
We've got that here.
Do you have Movement Savvy as well?
Well, look at the graphic. I mean, that's James. Look at that. That's but that's James. I mean, James, let's put that up again. Maybe Brad doesn't realize we are actually a professional show. It's because the host is not very good. But
hostess with the mostest.
But look at that. That is James's design. You can maybe read
Incredible.
that, Brad, for us. Well, what is the Instagram handle?
Okay, so it's just a concept that started, or myself and my girlfriend actually started about a month ago, and the entity will change eventually, but at the moment it is a space where you just get to upskill yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what that page is to start. Eventually it'll turn into an application where individuals can manage their business if they want to. Users can start to track their bodies in the way in which they should. They get to understand their bodies a little bit better at the same time. So that's what that will become.
Okay, we do have a podcast as well, so maybe you can say it out loud and then just spell it for us, what the page is.
Okay, well, no, at the moment it's just my Instagram handle.
Yeah.
The business is called Movement Savvy.
Okay, and how do we spell that? Just like if folks are listening to the pod.
So MOVEMENTSAVVY. Savvy being the fact that you're trying to get in the know. You want to understand things.
Hey, if you're Yiddish, and Senzo will know this, plenty of my Jewish brethren in Ilova, a bit of seichel.
Seichel.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
Savvy, a bit of seichel, my man.
Seichel, my man.
How's it? Hey.
How's it?
And as they might say at St. David's, you are a mensch, bro. And thank you so much for coming through today. I'm
Thank
looking
you for having me, guys.
I think
This
it's
is
going to be powerful content moving forward. Folks, mindset. Brad, by the way, listen, do not look at his handsome face and think he wouldn't kick you. He is from Glen Vista, for real, Robertsham, for real. And we're from the same age group. He was playing ahead of himself, and they were for real. The guy he mentioned, Seth, earlier, one of my competitors, Southern Transvaal with him. Seth, wherever you are right now, you are a freaking legend and a terror, a human terror of a player to come up against. Brad, legendary. Coming up, a person nearly died. They nearly died in an F1 car. That happened. We're going to talk about that. He's been knighted. He lives in Monaco because he doesn't want to pay tax. But hey, you can come close to death as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Spike Ballantyne on the other side. You did it. You did it.
You're doing it.
Currently.
What are we doing?
It's.
Oh, right.
You know what I
You're
mean?
also doing it. You're part of it.
Yeah.
So happy about it.
That inquisitive voice, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it because a human being nearly died who is richer than I probably could ever wish to be. And a wheel was centimeters away from his head and basically was about to turn his brain into mincemeat, but it didn't happen. Thank you, science. Thank you, technology. Incredible scenes at Monza. Just, you know, Spike Valentine, by the way, is the person I'm talking about. Spike, I mean, let's just get straight into it. How are you doing? Obviously, well, Monza, electrifying.
Fantastic race weekend. And really one of those races where I think it's going to live in memory for a long time. Not just because of the incident, but because there was just some great racing all around.
I got
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I gotta say, by the way, he's at Spike the Car Guy on all socials. The two social media platforms that still matter, Instagram and Twitter on the streets. Yeah, I'm saying, Senzo, Setebe, did you watch any of the Formula One, mate?
No,
Incredible.
unfortunately not. I just heard that Hamilton almost kicked the bucket, but which is not funny, but like...
Hey, rich people are gonna die too.
It's true, but yeah. No, but I was surprised to see who won, and actually I'm stoked for him.
We want to get into it, huh? I mean, first of all, I thought, okay, I'm not going to watch the Formula 1 this weekend. The cars are too soft, and the weather, it's hot. I don't want to watch it if you're not watering the pitch. I'm out of here.
Also, it was during the day.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Also, you got to... Every race should be at night.
Also, they've abandoned the banking at Monza.
What?
Yeah, no, there's a huge banked section, even steeper than Zandvoort, but they haven't raced on that banking for decades. So...
I mean, yeah.
I'm amazed you even made the effort, but I appreciate it.
I did make the effort because there was nothing else on. There was only one Premier League game on, so I needed something to do between the Springboks trying to ruin everything.
Oh, my word.
By losing to a bunch of... I'm not saying all Australians are criminals. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you are the descendants of. The island was really where you sent the worst types of Brits, which is tough to find. I mean...
But to be fair, you can't include the Fijian players in that squad because they...
In fact, Australia's Fiji's A team. That's actually what they are. Yeah, Fiji's team is Fiji's B team. Well said. I mean, they were brilliant and whatever. No excuses at the top. But let's get straight into it. Sprint qualifying. I thought Verstappen's going to walk this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, got the point. And then, I mean, but hey, what's his name? Pierre
Gasly.
The gas man.
Yeah, the gas man.
Yeah, I mean, he got most of the attention because of his quite scary shunt, actually. Catching himself a puncture after tagging with Danny Rick into turn 2 and spearing off into the barriers. I feel so sorry for the guy, man. It was his first win at the last race at Monza.
Yeah.
Last time they ran at Monza, he was the surprise winner. And I think as much as I think all sportsmen at that level come in and go, you know what, it's a new year, it's a new what, we don't rest on our laurels, we're always pushing forward. Some part of your brain has to say, there's got to be a repeat. I went so well here last year, it's got to be a good race.
No, 100%.
And then it was over before it started.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough for the gas man. I mean, also, thank you science there, because that one's ugly.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about the big incident, but that one gets, if you think back 10 years ago, that's maybe like stop the race kind of bad.
Yeah.
You know, because we didn't, as great as the tech was 10 years ago, that incident, I sort of, ooh.
Yeah, there was a high speed impact into the Tech Pro, and it wasn't so long ago. I mean, you talk about 10 years. I think it was 6 or 7 years ago that a marshal was killed.
Yes.
At Monza because of flying parts flying off an F1 car.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man, but my God, that was something else. So Gasman, he'll be back though. I mean, any reports coming out? Any injuries? Is his neck tight? Does
he's
change
fine.
a pillar, pal?
No, he's fine. He'll be good. He'll be 2 weeks to the next race. He'll make a recovery.
So that was a triple header, huh?
Yeah, that was the last of a triple header.
Just imagine being in logistics for Formula One. How many teams?
There's 10 teams, 20 drivers. That's a story that I would love to follow. I would love to follow the logistics of an F1 season. How you get from here to there, how they plan. We're going from here to there next. You know, I think it's mind-blowing once you start delving into that. Because one of the things that I love about F1, and not to sound like a humble brag or whatever, but I'm lucky enough to have been to an F1 race or 2 F1 races.
Yes.
And one of the things, besides the racing and the spectacle and the money and everything, it's just such an amazing logistical piece of perfection. to think that everything that has to be there is there when it needs to be there. The race never starts late. You know, nothing ever gets tangled up that people can't get into the stadiums to be where they need to be. It's always, it runs like clockwork. And to get that level of perfection consistently is just mind-blowing.
You know why it's mind-blowing? Is if everybody's just honest with themselves. When was the last time you went to a wedding away for the weekend with your girlfriend where you have to drive?
Right.
Think of, you left the rusks. Where's my scrunchie? Like, babe, where's my swimming costume? Like, think of the things in your own life where you're terrible at them. And it's just like, I don't know, Senzo, you glampers, what would you leave? Like a nightlight for your, I don't know. Yeah, that's it.
He's headed to the spot on.
You know, it's the tabard. Yeah. Like, think of how much of that is happening every trip.
Yeah.
If you leave 5 screws in a team,
it's over.
You're not racing that weekend.
Yeah.
If somebody leaves the wrong drill, maybe they've got 2 or 3, you leave the wrong box in and amongst probably, what are they moving? 60, 70 different parts?
Tons of equipment.
Yeah, 60, 70 different parts of the car need to probably move. I'm pretty sure they're not moving that whole thing put together. Like,
no, it's disassembled to a point, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because you just, that is such a precious, oh my God, just phenomenal. Formula One, shout out to them. I mean, I say the cars aren't loud enough, but that's art on its own, right? The logistics. Oh my God, if you've never worked in logistics before,
which I haven't, but even so, just to see it, well, just to see it operationally come together like that. I mean, I think what we're talking about here essentially is, never mind Netflix Drive to Survive, but Netflix, how the hell do they get it all together so everyone can go racing?
It's definitely happening, right?
Yeah, it's got to.
The Americans, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
So
trust the Americans.
There's actually a couple of documentaries on the YouTube about the logistics of F1.
Is it produced by Netflix, James?
Yes.
No, but
then
one of them is produced by Formula One themselves.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Yeah, that's the key question here, James.
So the one that was produced by Formula One was 8 months ago.
Okay.
And that's the incredible logistics of racing during a pandemic. Mm-hmm. And then there's another one that I watched that was made 3 years ago, but it also tells you the logistics of
I don't want to watch that one.
They move between the cities and all the equipment and stuff.
Right. Is this last one available in 4K? Because I am currently saving for a TV. I know I've been saying that for 8 months now. Probably take me till about 2023. These things are so expensive. Can I watch it in 4K? Because Formula One, a big part of it is so glamorous. It is so awesome. Is it available in 4K? Otherwise, get it out my face.
No, but you know what is beautiful about it?
Nothing.
It is available in the very same definition as our own MKT show.
HD. Shout out James, turning it around, staying positive. Formula One, we're in HD, 1080, still a thing. Even though you could probably watch it on your cell phone in this day and age, it's 4K, 6K time. Let's get it going. Spike, a guy who's been knighted, did not have a good weekend.
Yeah, I know.
What happened?
Yeah, I was surprised. All the talk coming into the weekend was, Mercedes are going to dominate, and certainly through that first free practice session, they looked like they had good pace. Certainly relative to Red Bull, they looked like Red Bull was going to have a tough time against them. But Hamilton not qualifying that well for the sprint race, and then just going backwards. He just didn't have a great start, and that kind of put paid to his sprint qualifying, and then into the race he was kind of on the back foot already. Also, I suppose they would have been surprised by the pace of McLaren. But yeah, it wasn't a great weekend for Sir Lewis.
No, not great at all. I mean, we might as well. We've touched on it now. Great graphicking there by James.
Oh man,
let's just talk about it, because it's, first of all, explain to the guys that aren't aficionados like you and I. Obviously, Hamilton's hard tire strategy, then he's changing to medium tires. I mean, explain to us what that actually means, and by us I mean obviously other guys, not you and me, who understands how Formula One actually works.
So 3 compounds available to the teams at the beginning of the weekend in limited numbers, so they each have a certain number of each set: hard, medium, soft. And at the start of the race proper at Monza, Hamilton was one of the only front runners on the hard tire. Everyone else going for the medium. The idea that the medium it gets up to temperature quicker, it gives you a better launch, so you can get your advantage in early. Everyone was surprised by Mercedes' choice of the hard tyre. The thinking there is that, well, you don't get as good a start, but Monza's a difficult place to overtake, so the advantage will come later on when that hard tire gets a bit softer, when the mediums are going off and those guys are slowing down. We'll be coming into the best operating window, and then we'll kind of put in the hot laps and try to get an advantage there. That was the kind of thinking, as far as I can tell, around that choice.
Oof. So I don't want to take all of the credit for this, and Senzo, you can give it to me if you want me to take it. That's fine as well.
Give him permission there.
I'm not kidding. I started watching the lap before Lewis Hamilton nearly died. So have I, just through watching that, created the best content maybe in sport this year? Because I'm just saying,
that's a bold claim. Not the fact that you're watching, but it's the best content this year.
Oh, okay. So I may have caused the greatest incident by flicking over at the correct time. Senzo, your thoughts, just as me as a viewer in Africa.
But dude, you're trying to transcend broadcasting, so there you go.
I'm infiltrating everything. Everything's about me at that moment. I've changed the face of Formula One, Spike. But on a very real note, this was inevitable, though. I think, forget that, like, just because it's Monza, we're going to make a thing of it. But we've seen how tense it's getting between the two of them now.
Yeah.
And all you need is that opportunity for it to get tense. And I'm not giving, and he's not giving.
Yeah, and we saw a bit of it at Silverstone where Hamilton and Verstappen came together, and Verstappen ended up with 51G in the barrier and a flight to hospital. So it's happened already. But the severity of this, taking both of them out, I guess it was inevitable because neither of them is going to give up. Neither of them is going to give the other one a bit of space. Especially given that Verstappen's had a really bad pit stop. So now he's properly on the back foot. He's probably a little bit angry. He's probably going to, he took unnecessary risks. All things being equal, had he not had that pit stop, had his head been a little bit calmer, he might have, taken to the curbs on turn 2 in a more purposeful way rather than the accidental way that he did to bail out of that overtaking. So it was inevitable, and let's hope this is the last of it, because really that's not racing. That's just taking each other out, which is not what people want to see.
Yeah.
And having said that, I mean, how old is he? 23. Look, sometimes precocious talent is, people forget he's still only 23.
Yep.
If that happens, the bad pit stop happens in 5 years' time. If Lewis, I think, had been in his position, although winning comes at a price, but I think that happens in 5 years' time. Is like you say, I don't need to take that risk.
Yeah.
I trust my team. I trust myself. But he's 23. The testosterone, it's going nuts. I'm not happy. Emotionally, 23-year-olds are unstable people.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Exactly that.
So you know what? Shout out to him for being the most competitive human in the world. But let's get down to it because we're in content. Whose fault was it? I want to know immediately.
Yeah. Whose fault was it?
He didn't give me any room.
Oh, wow. He
didn't
kept closing the door. He kept squeezing me. So look, let's just jump to the official whose fault is it. Officially, it's Verstappen's fault. He's been given a 3-grid penalty for Sochi because the stewards have come out and said he was at fault for that accident. The reason it happened is because he was in the wrong place and he should have bailed out or not have been in that place in the first place. So the way that I saw it, I would have thought that Hamilton would have given him more space purely because Hamilton would have thought, yes, I don't want to give up the space, but also I don't want to get punted off the track. Hamilton could have given him more space on the inside. He didn't. He chose to keep his line, which he's perfectly entitled to do. He was ahead going into turn 1. He was ahead going into turn 2. He's perfectly entitled to keep the racing line, which is what he did.
Yeah.
Verstappen didn't bail out of it. He could have turned hard left, taken the curbs on turn 2, rejoined the track behind Hamilton, and carried on the battle. Verstappen chose to not do that. He chose to say, I've had a bad pit stop. I'm really angry. I want the place. Screw you. And they had it coming together. And if you look at the footage, it is a little bit unfortunate that those sausage curbs were part of the reason that the accident happened.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the physics of what would have happened had they not been involved. But I somehow think it wouldn't have been severe and perhaps they both would have carried on. But the reason that Verstappen landed on top of Hamilton and gave the halo a chance to shine yet again is because
like what you did
those sausage clips.
Now, let's talk about, before we move on to science winning for Hamilton's head and his brain and his family and everybody who knows him.
And Formula 1 at large.
Yeah.
And that 8th championship that's just so close.
Yeah, no, before we delve into that whole thing, I mean, Verstappen now is, you do have a difficult decision to make, is that, especially when young people are talented, it's like, I'll use a football analogy, is that there's a guy called Paul Pogba right now, and Sir Alex Ferguson, shout out Scotsman, is that...
But also about 95 in the shade. He's ancient now.
Is he? Oh, I don't know. Is he the Highlander? Because
there can be only one.
There can only be one. Shout out Duncan MacLeod there. Fergie may return.
Conor McLeod.
Oh, is it Conor McLeod?
Yeah, Ken McLeod.
Where's Duncan MacLeod from? From something else.
Yeah, something else.
Anyway, it's just a Scottish name.
Yeah.
There can only be one. He will return as a younger Fergie in 35 years' time. I do believe that, with a sword ready to fight all evil.
Right.
But having said that, he tried to get a hold of a guy called Paul Pogba, and it never worked because Pogba, the talent, wanted to run. But he got a hold of a guy called Cristiano Ronaldo nice and early, and he never let him off the hook. With Max now, what do Red Bull have to make a decision and go, come on, son, take a seat? Or do you think you let that kind of talent run? Because you have to curb it early. If you let this go, and he's 27 still acting like this.
Yeah, I think it's a different story if you're still 27 acting like this. The fact of the matter is, if Red Bull were going to do that, they would have done it ages ago. When Verstappen was punting off his own teammates, when he was being, that guy who he was uncompromising in every respect just because he wanted to win. He didn't take anything but himself into account. And he's done it enough over the years for Red Bull to have made a call like that early on to go, look, you're talented, but you're not our guy. We want someone a little bit more compliant who's going to play the team game.
Yeah.
They didn't. And he is a much better driver than he was. And realistically, he's the strongest chance they've had since Sebastian Vettel to win themselves a world title. So they're going to stick with it. There's no doubt they're going to stick with it.
So, hey, Senzo, a guy who loves fashion, like you, good-looking guy like you, you're a big fan of his. He survived on the weekend. You obviously didn't see the incident, but my God, that was so real, by the way.
Yeah.
So when you read it first, did you go and have a look at the highlights?
Yeah, I was like, this guy's really shook. And like, for somebody in that line of work, you know what I mean? People crash it's part of the job, but Lewis Hamilton seemed really shaken by it. You're like, yes. Yeah, no, this... I saw my life flash before my eyes.
Now, I have to be honest. I thought maybe he had a halo, was like some religious guy got on the mic and got into it, until I realized, oh, no, the halo is actually the part of the car when I heard it. Oh, that is hectic.
Yeah.
Like at first I thought, calm down. I'm in content. I know how you dramatize things. And then I watched it again. I thought, my God, that wheel is 30 centimeters from Lewis's head?
Not even. There's a shot of the wheel actually contacting the top of Lewis's helmet.
Oh my God.
And he said, because to come out afterwards and said that, once the adrenaline had started wearing off, he actually started feeling it in his neck, and his neck was getting tighter and tighter. So he's pretty sure that that's done a little bit of damage that he's going to need to get sorted out. But that halo made sure that, as we say, he's still alive. He can still go racing. And it's not the first time. When the halo was proposed, all, the motivation for the halo, the initial incident around the halo was Felipe Massa.
Oh, yes.
He was taken out by an 800-gram part of a Formula One car that almost killed him. And they said, well, they need some sort of protection. They need some sort of mitigation there. And they went through various iterations of clothes and various cockpit ideas, but the halo won out. And when it came out, everyone was like, this is terrible. It makes the cars look horrible. It's ugly, whatever. As is always the case, people got used to it really quickly, and then there was no comment. And it's proven itself again and again and again on how safe it is. It saved Fernando Alonso at Spa. It saved Romain Grosjean at Abu Dhabi last year. And here's another example of just what it does to save drivers' lives.
Oh my God, that is something else.
It really is a guardian angel.
I mean, that halo thing, well said. Yeah. Because hey, this is for real problems. Like, we have problems in life. That, my good man, Lewis Hamilton, Sir Lewis, you have survived, and you can continue not to pay tax. Shout out to
your heart's
you.
content.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the worst things I've ever seen is Perez not handing that place back. Let's just get straight to that. Like, I'm watching the race, I'm thinking, okay, now they've communicated what's happening.
Yeah.
You kind of know as well, because what happened, they were still kind of checking it out in the background. But come on, Red Bull, just give him the place back. The way Perez was driving, I mean, they were saying his speed at that stage was like, just give the place back and then overtake again. You were gonna do. Spike, what is going on there?
It was a bad day for the Red Bull pit crew, no doubt. I mean, there was Verstappen's pit, 11 seconds long, which is an anomaly in their line. They are the pit stop champions. But yeah, the Perez thing, as you say, every armchair pit crew member could go. It looked at it and went, no, just give it back because that's not legal. What you've gained an advantage by cutting the corner. You got to give the place back. Red Bull say they got hold of race control and didn't get a response. I say, dumbasses, you could see from a mile away that they were going to penalise him if he didn't give it back. And as you say, they had the power, they had the pace. Give the place back, take it back later.
Yes.
And get rewarded with a third place instead of crossing the line third and then being demoted to fifth.
Plus, like you're saying, it makes no sense. For me, here's my mindset, right? F1 aficionado that I am, is like, don't worry whether they're going to punish us or not. We can see how the race is going. Like you said, we've got the pace and the power.
Yeah.
Give it up. Then the 5-second thing's eliminated. Don't worry about
Absolutely. See, their thinking would be like, oh no, we know it's 5 seconds. We can get ahead and pull out that 5 seconds. But I mean, why risk it?
it. It's for the biscuit.
Oh.
My man.
No risk it, no biscuit. That's for real. That's what they say on the streets. Formula One. Hey, yesterday, Spike, I have to say this to you. And it burns every part of me as a human being to say this. That was bloody enjoyable watching. I bloody enjoyed every single lap from about the 23rd lap where I watched, obviously, and through my viewing, I caused the incident of the year. But that was really good.
Yeah, man. Also, you nearly killed Lewis Hamilton. That's something to be proud of.
Who sings that song? Everybody knows. Almost doesn't count. Who's that? Senzo.
Brandy.
It's Brandy. Shout out to her. Brandy
Wow.
Norwood. Her brother has been an electrifying figure in the Kim Kardashian rise to fame, of course. We've
I
watched
literally have no idea who you're talking about.
Ray J, a guy called Ray J. He made an
I
adult
don't know.
video.
Explain. I don't care.
Okay, well, I mean, now that you've asked though, not sure if Kim Kardashian heard of her.
Yeah.
So her trajectory to fame, Olympic stepdad, her father, by the way.
She's a woman now.
Well, a woman, yeah. Actually, her real dad.
Dad's a woman.
No,
Oh.
no,
her
but
dad was in the defense team for O.J. Simpson.
the real dad.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Okay,
Kardashian,
right.
but also Bruce Jenner, who is
Also,
now
still
Caitlyn.
Still not
Caitlyn.
really caring.
Caitlyn Jenner. So, because Spike cares about all things pop culture. Shout out to Ray J. He's also got Raycons right now. Very cool earphones from what I've heard. I've never actually used them. So, shout out to Brandon Norwood. Almost doesn't count. Lewis Hamilton is very... Again, I'm not going to have this though. Now, let's not turn it into... Oh, Lewis is going to milk it. He's going to do the neck thing. Oh, that's what he's...
He's
I'd run
gonna
with
get
it.
hold of Michael De Bruyne.
I'm Markle.
Michael.
So, how's it, Lewis?
I'm Michael De Bruyne.
I'm Michael de Broglio. I heard you had
It's
a
not
neck
your
thing.
fault.
You shouldn't pay because it's not
Not your fault.
Shout out Michael de Broglio helping out one of the richest men in the world. That's awesome. Lewis has to do it. Bring the neck brace to finish off the press conference and go full drama, maybe a tear. That's what I'd do to try and get the empathy card. But like Christian Eriksen, folks, he's fine. I don't want to hear another word about Lewis. Let's move on. This great sport can move on just like we should from Christian Eriksen. Plenty more coming up. We'll talk about an incredible victory for a guy everybody seems to like. Everybody seems to like this guy. Shout out to him being David Beckham's best mate as well at Wimbledon. Great suits together. He looks like an absolute Portuguese superstar, like a runway model, this guy. I love him. I love him. Is it Italian? Riccardo, huh?
He's Italian.
Yeah.
Daniela. Is it, what's his real name?
His name's Daniel.
Daniel.
Oh, is it Daniel?
Daniel Joseph, I think.
Yeah, but he's of Italian descent.
Yeah.
So it's fitting that he won.
Shout out Daniel Riccardo. We'll talk about that on the other side, the MKT Show. You're on the right track.
Oh, come on. Doesn't even waste any time, just goes in hard.
He was so chuffed himself.
Yeah.
But that's brilliant. Yes. I'm for it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm for it.
So that's big presenting. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. That's just me living my life on a Monday, feeling good about myself after watching a Formula One race and shocking myself by actually enjoying it. It was just thrilling stuff. We got Spike Ballantyne in the house, Senzos Tebe. I mean, hey, let's just get straight into it. Mm-hmm. Now, I've called him Portuguese, very, very offensive. But Ricardo, that's tough. It could be Italian, could be Portuguese. I was wrong. I took a gamble, and I think that was very brave of me. Spike, I mean, are you kidding me right now? McLaren, what, first race in 9 years, I was hearing they said.
Yeah.
No, first race in 12 years that they've won. Or no, sorry, first race in 9 years that they've won.
Yeah.
First 1-2 in 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
McLaren.
Yeah, it's a mega comeback story. And
Hey, wait, sorry, before you start.
Yeah.
Do I need to take, obviously, my, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS pills, because the commentary now, I don't know if you heard how happy the Brits were.
Yeah.
Like, McLaren!
Yeah.
Was that a bit much, or is it good for the sport?
No, I think it's good for the sport. So, I'm a long-time McLaren fan. Since I started watching F1, back in the day, I've always been a McLaren fan. Mm-hmm. And to have seen them at the peak of their powers with Häkkinen, Coulthard, with Hamilton, Button, doing the business, winning champion, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And then they hit the slump. They went down to literally the bottom. And to see not just the fact that they won yesterday, not that they had a 1-2 yesterday, but to see the progression over the last 4 seasons, even before they swapped to Mercedes power, to see them progressing, to see them coming back up again, and finally getting this win yesterday was just magical. It really was. It was a really great comeback story. All sports have got it. There's a performer that then loses form and then comes back again to take the title, to come out on top. And that's what McLaren did in the best way possible.
Yeah.
With a slow build-up and then getting the 1-2.
All right. Tell you what, we're going to take a little break because I want to get to that on the other side as well. I'll take a little break. The MKT Show. We had an incident. We had to check it out. And that's broadcasting. And that is broadcasting at its finest. At its finest. All right, let's get back into it. I'm not going to say how great are my puns, obviously.
Lap it up.
Oh,
Wow.
Let's go. This is what happens. You get it. Snowball effect. This is what happens. Spike, I didn't want to get into how great my puns are. Let's get into the man we were talking about, handsome face, Danny Ricciardo. I mean, McLaren.
Yep.
Just a sensational weekend for the romantic, I think.
Yeah, and also just a great weekend, as I said, for a great comeback story. You know, for the team, we've spoke about that, but for Danny Ricciardo as well, who, you know, he didn't have a great time by the time he'd left Red Bull. He kind of started getting into his groove at Renault, but then left, jumped ship for McLaren, and has had a horrible time at McLaren since he's been there. So for him to finally put together a string of good weekends and then top it off with a win, also a great comeback story for Danny Rick as well.
Now, a lot of people are going to say the greatest Austrian Dutch human being to ever be involved possibly in Formula One wasn't there because he tried to ride over Lewis Hamilton's head, and that's why Danny Ricciardo won.
Yeah.
No Verstappen. Is that why Danny Ricciardo?
No, not at all. I think Danny Rick had the measure. And McLaren also, not just Daniel Ricciardo, but McLaren had the measure of Red Bull, and I think that had the race played out as it should have without the incident, I think he still would have won. I think if there's any question about the results, it might have been that Norris might have struggled to stick to P2. But I think that even with Verstappen, Ricciardo would have come across the line first. And I think that I just want to say at this point that I'm very happy that Ricciardo won. I'm over the moon that McLaren won. I do kind of feel sorry for Norris because given what he's done with that team over the years and given how much he's grown as a driver, it's a little bit comically unfair that he didn't get the first win. Because I would have loved to have seen him cross the line in first place at Danny Rick second. I just feel a little bit sorry for the guy.
I do like his passive-aggressive professional thing. He knows the world's listening. For those who didn't hear it, is he does give a shout-out to the team. Does it serve us best if we if I don't challenge Danny? What he's saying is, let me through, guys, but I don't want to say that because I'm a pro.
Yeah.
But I like that he did that. That's so smart.
Yeah.
Like, that's the guy you want in your team. He clearly gets the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole game at play with Formula One. I like that he put it in their hands. That's called an alpha dog. It's like, does it serve us best for me not to challenge Ricciardo? What he's saying is, guys, come on. I've been here forever. It should be me.
Yeah. But also, again, it's that thing of the unknown of how much Danny Rick was sandbagging, for want of a better phrase, at that point. We saw it in the last race with Ocon and Alonso. Ocon getting on the radio going, hey, tell Fernando he's going too slowly, let me past. And then, within 3 or 4 laps, Alonso had pulled out the lead because he was managing. The fact that Dan Ricciardo comes across the line with the fastest lap on the last lap of the race just suggests that he had a lot more in hand and he was managing to an extent. So, push come to shove, if Lando had said, screw you guys, I'm going to go push and try to take that first place for myself anyway, we might have found that the Australian had a little bit of pace to spare and he was just managing his own race at that point. So there's no guarantee that he was slower or that Norris was quicker.
I like that he was so happy for him. Like
Yeah,
it's very easy for the guy to be sour there. Norris, and Norris knows everybody would have been on his side if he'd been sour about it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that at the end. He gets on the radio again. Vamos, let's go.
Yeah.
So even if he's not, hey, that's called being a professional.
And I think it's genuine. I don't think he's putting on a show. I think he's genuinely happy to see the team win. I think some of his body language afterwards suggested that his celebrations were a little bit muted. He didn't jump into Danny Rick's arms and high five. They just like gave each other a casual hug afterwards. And his interviews, Norris's interviews after the race were a little bit subdued. He said all the right things. He looked a little bit like he could have been happier. And I think that was what was on his mind. Is like, damn it, it should have been me. I think he was genuinely happy for the team.
Yeah.
I think he was genuinely happy for Ricardo, but I think he was also genuinely thinking,
Why
should
not
have
me?
been me. Should have been me.
Was it In Sync? In Sync.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be me.
Gonna be me.
Hey, In Sync. By the way, Spike, in case you didn't know this,
Yeah.
James, was it Westlife? No, Paolo is the Westlife guy.
Yeah.
Sensor is In Sync's biggest fan.
Right.
I didn't know this until Friday, by the way.
wow.
He knows everyone in there. Paolo knew
personally?
everyone from Westlife.
Yeah, personally.
No, but it felt like it, the way they spoke about him. James, what was the boy band that you knew about?
Westlife.
Oh, okay, so have I made a mistake there?
Yeah.
Him and Paulo.
I
Him
know
and Paulo.
Senzo got all touchy about NSYNC,
Yeah.
which for those listening and watching, we
And just to clear up there, he didn't get touched by NSYNC. He got touchy
he
about
didn't
it.
get
Okay,
no.
just to be clear.
We did. I wanted to share this with the listeners and the viewers. We did on the weekend, or I did at least, try to come up with the sort of what's the fan group name for people that like NSYNC, and I came up with what was it? The Out of Sync.
The Out of Sync NSYNCers.
And the Sink or Swims was also one of them.
What's the collective name for Westlifers?
I didn't think that far, Spike. I didn't know that question was coming today.
You maybe should have. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
come
doing
on.
a comprehensive report on boy bands, I'd
Apples with apples.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, all right, James, not a very good report, but the Out of Sync NSYNCers is what you said, hey?
Yeah, the Out of Sync
Terrible.
in Sinkers or the Sink or Swims.
The Sync
Sink or
Swims. Senzo
Oh,
Setebe.
I've got another one.
Let's hear it.
In Sync, the sinking man's Westlife.
Now, James, you must be in love with that because you love Westlife and
I
everything
do
they've
love
ever done.
Westlife. That does bring my heart joy.
No. NSYNC sold more records, like they've broken more
Also-
records. So like, let's get the hell out of here, Westlife.
Let's just put this all into context.
Yes.
Which band had Justin Timberlake?
That was it.
NSYNC.
Well said.
That's the end of that argument.
Guys, not everything's a competition. We were just
It
thinking of
is.
fan
No,
group.
you're wrong.
Make it a competition, James.
No, it's a competition. It's definitely.
And you're losing.
And it's pop music. I mean, all it is a competition. Most of those guys can't sing. I don't even know if Justin Timberlake can sing.
Oh, the heresy.
So
Yeah,
bye.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know. Like
Blasphemy.
Justin Timberlake, I do love him though. Shout out to him getting who's the beautiful German lady that he's married to now.
No, he's not. He's married to.
Well, she's German American. Oh, she's got a German name.
What's her name again?
Biela,
Oh,
Biel.
yeah. Jessica Biel.
Oh, Jessica Biel.
Biel,
married
that's
to
who it is.
Jessica
So
Biel.
good for them. They're gonna have a super baby who's obviously gonna dance.
No, but that
and-
guy's CV he's done some great work.
Justin Timberlake, JT.
Yeah. Winning at everything.
Crimea River, James, an unbelievable hit for those who've had a broken heart. You ever listen to Justin Timberlake in your dark moments alone, just thinking Crimea River, you don't need her. You were better than her.
No, more boys to men for that kind of stuff.
All right. Okay, we're going to move on.
James.
So the guy has real problems. I mean, before we move off Danny Ricciardo, there were some allegations, social media electrifying stuff. It is unforgiving. Hey, you think you're going to go to Monza and do something that's once in a lifetime, less than, I would say, in our lifetime, I'm only 80, so less than 79 people will do this. Definitely, whilst I'm still alive, I'm hoping to live another 80 years or so. You go and win Monza, you think, oh, everyone's going to love you, not social media. Spike, the most hilarious photo in the history of photos has come out, and I think a little unfair, but your thoughts?
Well, you know what? To be fair to social media, I presume you're talking about the comparison, right?
Yes.
Yeah. To be fair to social media, it was me. I made the comparison.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, just something struck me yesterday. Finally, we spoke about George Russell looking a bit like that animated character from Ants.
Yes.
You know, that face. We spoke about that, and then yesterday, Danny Ricciardo was doing it, and I was like, Hells, he looks like Donkey from Shrek.
He does look like Donkey from Shrek. James, do we have that image? I mean, this is incredible scenes here.
Come on,
Shame,
how
man.
close is that?
It's there, and I don't think this is unfair. Actually, now that I've seen it properly on we do have a monitor here about 42 inches. I am seeing it in HD.
It's the brown eyes,
Yeah.
it's the nose, and it's the teeth.
That means Donkey's ridiculously good looking.
That's is that what Danny said.
All the time. On Drive to Survive.
Oh yeah,
Ridiculously good looking.
It's because I'm ridiculously good looking.
really?
Yeah, all the
Hey,
time.
listen, while we're talking about what Danny Ricciardo says, biggest surprise of the entire weekend. I don't know if you probably wouldn't have stayed to the very end to watch the driver interviews.
No, the football panel.
So David Coulthard was doing the post-race interviews live to worldwide television, and David Coulthard, being David Coulthard, thought he would be funny. He said, "Oh well, you know, the Italian fans can't be too upset because you're of Italian extraction, so you won. So maybe a few words in Italian for the fans." To the Australian Danny Ricciardo, not realizing that Dan Ricciardo speaks Italian, and he basically said to the crowd, he rattled off in Italian for like 20 seconds. It was amazing.
That is awesome. That's
It was
a big
incredible.
flex.
And I pride myself on knowing a bit about the drive. I had no idea that he spoke Italian.
Oh, and he's like full on eating a pizza with the.
he properly gave the crowd something to
Sorry,
cheer about.
was Rosberg there again?
No, Rosberg wasn't
Okay.
there. He wasn't
Nico.
there.
No, because he always shows up when Hamilton doesn't do well. They always have him there stand by.
Hey, listen, talking about Rosberg and Verstappen, I know there was, we've covered the incident, but something I did want to mention that we haven't yet. Something for Verstappen fans to hold on to, right? The last time that Hamilton didn't finish a race because of a coming together, because of an accident with his championship rival, was in 2016 in Spain. Hamilton and Rosberg had a coming together at turn 3, I think, took each other out. That's the last time Hamilton didn't finish a race because of an accident with a title contender. And who won the title in 2016?
Nico.
Nico Rosberg.
Oh, it's good stuff. If you are Austrian
So-
and Dutch and a Red Bull fan.
So if you're a Verstappen fan, there's something to hold on to. You could actually end up with the champion if the accident hypothesis is in to go by.
You'd need about 400 incidents to go the same. You got to hope that Red Bull have employed every single engineer and the same psychologist. But I do see what you're saying.
Yeah,
If you're one of those people that believes a Sagittarius will find love next month,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You could very easily do sort of a correlation, causation thing there.
Absolutely.
Just skip over any sort of logic.
Yeah.
So it happened to Nico.
Yeah. 5 years ago. So, it could happen again. Lightning does strike twice.
It does.
Yeah.
In fact, I live in Johannesburg. Lightning strikes
All the time.
All the bloody time.
Just to
between
go
300 and
back real-
400,000 times a night.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, that's a terrible saying. Even though I get what they're saying, but I mean, do me a favor.
Just to go back real quickly, when are you getting your Verstappen jumpsuit delivered?
James, don't you worry about that. I won't be spoken to like that by a guy who took 6 months to get a haircut, questioning my integrity.
I was just asking.
That's a good question, though.
That's all
I mean,
I was
I
doing.
can't just be big talk.
No, you did say by the end of the season.
Yeah, by the end of the season, so I'm going to need to get that Red Bull suit, is what you're saying.
Time is ticking.
Tick
Is
tock.
what I am saying. Yes.
Time is ticking. All right, good pressure there, James, because we did have a guy on who said it's a mindset thing, right? I can't just say stuff. I got to get it done.
Yeah. You just.
Boy, oh boy.
And,
But
and
maybe
what
it should
did he
be like
say?
the-
He said, "Just do it."
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
No, that's also Shoe Dog. By the way, I'm not sure if you've read it. Book about Nike, absolutely incredible. They said just do it,
They did do that. That
and
is
they've
their
done.
thing.
They have done it.
Over and over again.
They are, like you say, they are
doing it.
Are Nike and it's Puma, right? The
Puma.
shoes.
Yeah.
What about it?
Puma.
Formula One.
Yeah.
Not good. They need to. No, change it. What's on the streets right now? Adidas is that drip. But I don't know if Formula One's. Nah, Formula One can't do Nike.
Nah, Formula One is and we should be charging for all of this, but we're not going
Yeah.
to. OMP, Alpine Stars, Puma, Adidas, I think.
Some guys.
Yeah, some guys.
Although not even, because remember, I don't. Was it Ferrari?
Oh, and sorry, AlphaTauri.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, like that. Remember when they had the Goodyear? I remember having the Goodyear Formula One shoes.
The
I think it
Puma
was
ones.
Adidas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was yes, that's right. No, Adidas Well, maybe it was Goodyear as well, but they were Continental.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know what it was? It was my running shoes that were Continental.
Yes, that's
and
right.
they had a Formula One line. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I do remember that. So, but Formula One is like golf, right? No, we're not doing We're not doing LeBron James nonsense here. Don't play your hippity hop here.
Yeah.
They're not doing that. That's a bunch of rich guys. Everybody stay out.
Yeah, I mean, even Tiesto was a bit of a push.
Exactly.
Wow, I should have spoken to Brad about Tiesto's waistline. I mean, that guy.
It's a worry.
Wow. All right. Well, keep spinning those discs, pal. Spike, you said something. Can Formula One learn anything from T20? Now, for those who don't know what T20 cricket is it's the biggest show right now, maybe on earth, because India has 1.3, between 1.3, Google always changes, between 1.3 and 1.7 billion.
Google always changes.
I mean,
no, people are having kids all the time.
How many people are they having? 1.7 billion. I mean, you'd need to be having, 300 million a day for it to change overnight. But okay, I'm not going to judge Indian people. It's a massive country, tough to count. Listen, I find it tough to count a box of matches. You ever try to do that?
Why?
No.
Why would you do that?
No, how bored were you?
You see if you want to get
What
shortchanged.
were you auditing?
You audit my matchbox. What,
So
are you
this
doing this
is
week?
never-
What are you doing this weekend? I'm auditing my
My
matches.
matchbox.
So this has never happened to you guys where you...
Do you know how much a box of matches is? £1.
No, but
One whole runt.
No, what I'm saying is you never as a child wanted to know how many matches are in this box.
No.
No.
So it's just me.
Yeah.
And that was murder. Because you'd lose one, rolls away. But my point was,
That's exactly why I don't count matches.
I can't even count the matchbox. Imagine trying to count
Did they-
1.7 billion people.
Did they not let you out at Hilton that you had to count matches on the weekend?
The prison, I told you. In prison.
No, in prison you don't get matches.
Guys, don't
Oh,
be
yeah,
so
you do.
hard on him. This is the same child that used to eat mayonnaise out of the jar
out the bottle with my
as
hand.
a gift.
Not even-
Don't
not
be
even a
so
spoon.
hard on him.
You are a... What?
Oh, let me tell you a traumatic story. And like my parents, my mom's the less strict one, but I did have my nightmare. I have told the story before, where I don't know if you have an incident in your life where you can see every moment happening, because trauma gets blocked out, but this one, because of the way it happened, and because of my lack of size, strength, and height at the time, it really happened in slow motion. So my mom, in the end, figured out this guy's a nightmare, an absolute terror of a human being. I'm probably between the ages of 6 and 9. I can't exactly remember. So she's putting the big, and back then she was buying the big glass mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I won't be stopped. So I do that. So here's what I do. I do the chair thing. I don't know if you ever did this to try and get something. Is the chair, because I'm too short to climb on the cupboard. So the chair thing. Now I'm on not only the cupboard, but I'm on my tippy toes. But all I have left is the chair over here.
No.
So I'm doing the single hand reach.
For a bottle of mayonnaise, it's about the same size as you.
Absolutely, and it's the monster one. But now it's this one, and I'll never forget it. The classic. Oh no, I don't actually have any sort of physicality. Bang! I've gone too far because I'm pulling it. You know when you pull something around, flick it. Boom! I do too much on the last one.
On your head.
See it flipping, and I'm watching it now. On my head, bang, floor, mayonnaise everywhere. And now, but I did the. I'm actually getting anxious talking about it right now because I can remember it, and I thought, oh my god.
It's my last day on earth.
Oh my god.
So now, when you order things, do you order no mayo in case you get PTSD?
I don't eat mayo anymore.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
surprised.
makes sense.
Yeah. So, real thing that happened to me. So shout out to James for triggering my PTSD there.
I'm sure your whole family
I
is
was
managed.
actually-
No potato salad.
I was trying to take your side, is what I was doing.
Sorry, what's that, James?
I was trying to take your side. They were ganging up on you. I wanted to butt in and not let them.
No, you made it worse.
I did on purpose, actually.
Yeah, no. I see what you were doing there. You were doing the whole pretending I'm on your side.
Was
thing.
it close to Christmas?
I can't remember. That sort of trauma has been.
yeah.
Because
and-
I mean, you've eliminated the whole family. No potato salad.
Yeah.
No beetroot.
And my mom's like the cook person as well. So
Oh,
no,
wow.
but
I'm surprised you're still alive.
Because the thing is, so I wasn't, as I said, it was too high above my head, right? So I saw it coming, felt it hitting my head, and then it's just wait for the sound.
Yeah.
And there was maybe the worst day of my life.
And what's going to make it worse, just to tie it back to F1, which is what we're talking about here,
Yeah.
is that when we go to the Belgian Grand Prix, you can't have chips and mayo.
Me.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
By the way,
So you can't go to the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm sorry.
it's pointless going there. For those people who don't know what Spike is talking about, obviously anything creamy, you want to go to Belgium. I don't know if I've said this before on the show to you guys, but I once went to a mayonnaise festival, like a carnival, just for mayonnaise. Yeah, real thing in Bruges.
You're obsessed.
No, I was there. I was
No,
like,
you're obsessed.
no, when I saw it, I thought, are you kidding me?
It's the best day ever.
A whole carnival, a whole fair for mayonnaise. What are these people doing?
Oh.
And I was in there, moving, grooving. Now, Belgium, same thing as Germany. Love the beer. So it was more about beer and interacting. But yeah, who thought 1,000 different types of mayonnaise exist on this planet? So you're saying, what can Formula One learn from T20, by the way? That's where we were.
Yeah, so T20, shortened form of the game, more exciting, whatever, whether it's got detractors or not, everyone's a critic, so it'll always have detractors. But interestingly, Formula One's introduced this sprint race concept or sprint qualifying concept, 100 kilometers, shortened version of the race. At Monza, that translated to 18 laps. When the safety car came out yesterday, there were 25 laps remaining, I think, and the racing was intense.
Yeah.
Everyone was on the edge of their seat because now, can Dan Ricciardo hang on to the win? Is Norris going to get ahead of him? Bottas was charging through the field. Was Perez going to give the place back? All kinds of things going on. And they condensed that racing into 25 laps. No changes of tyres like there is in sprint qualifying. Oh, thanks, Trim.
That's your watch.
Thanks. So my point is, maybe there's an opportunity to condense the F1 races rather than having a sprint qualifying and a race of 75 laps. Maybe have two shorter events and call them races. Just
You're messing with
maybe
me.
that's heresy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like.
I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying that
It's a suggestion.
it's that's what just occurred to me yesterday.
Okay, as an F1 aficionado, you've already taken the sound away from us. Not this. One trauma per lifetime.
But next year there's no DRS, and everyone hates DRS.
We're going to talk about that because I did read a little bit this morning. I want to talk about that next week. Let's talk about the next race, obviously funded by Vladimir Putin.
Obviously, yeah.
And the whole
Sochi.
and I have actually skied at the place where the Olympics were, or snowboarded, because I'm not a loser. I would never be caught on skis. Although having said that, I'm getting older. I should probably learn to ski. It is way less punishing than snowboarding. So they're off to Sochi, a place. A mysterious place, by the way, in Russia.
Really?
a very, very interesting area. All military all the way until it's just very nice all of a sudden. But what are we thinking? What are we expecting?
Well, it's some people would say it's a foregone conclusion. Since Sochi joined the circuit 8 seasons ago, no one has won there except Mercedes. Hamilton's won 4, Bottas has won 2, Rosberg has won 1. So Mercedes goes really well at Sochi, and I don't really suspect that it'll be any different this year. The only caveat to that is Christian Horner, before Monza, came out and said, well, Monza and Sochi are, Red Bull's going to be on the back foot. Mercedes have definitely got the advantage. Mercedes didn't have such an advantage at Monza. They didn't seem like they were that far ahead of Red Bull at any stage of the weekend. So maybe maybe Red Bull's going to have a few surprises at Sochi as well. But all things being equal, it's probably going to be Mercedes-Benz's weekend, especially considering Max Verstappen has a 3-place grid penalty because of the Turn 2 incident in Monza. And also, Red Bull are likely to take an engine change penalty for Verstappen because he's not going to make it to the end of the season without swapping an engine one more time. That'll come with another set of penalties. So Red Bull's probably going to just chuck it all in one go and say, right, wherever Verstappen qualifies, he's going to have 8 places to make up during the race. So if he qualifies on pole, 3 places for the penalty, 5 places for the engine, and let's just get it over and done. Let's take all our medicine with one thing and get it done. So it's going to be a tough weekend for Red Bull, and I think you're probably likely to see that Mercedes are going to do very well there. How McLaren does with Mercedes power, that's a bit of an unknown, but I look forward to what they can do after Monza.
Looking forward to it. Russia brings a whole... I advise people to take lots of money because everything's 10 times more expensive. But if you want to just see a different part of the Western world per se, go to Russia. Senzo, you'll be a successful person very, very soon. You're working your way. Go to Russia. I think you'll enjoy it. You're a bit of a different cat as well. Well, what did you say earlier? I'm built different.
I'm built different.
So the Russians, they are built different. Sochi, an interesting place. Spike, fantastic today. Senzo, Formula One, you got to watch it, pal. If you don't watch it, this is what you miss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and Spike, aficionados, what are you doing?
No, don't worry about me.
What do you mean, don't worry about you? You
Don't
missed the
worry
race.
about. I missed the race.
I thought you cared about Lewis Hamilton.
Of course, I do care about him.
Do you? The guy nearly died. You weren't even there for him as emotional support.
But he didn't die.
He didn't die. That's so true. Like Christian Eriksen, he's absolutely fine. Ladies and gentlemen, Census Tebe has said it. We don't need to make the whole sport about him, although he is maybe the greatest driver of all time. I'll let you argue that at home. So maybe the whole sport is about him. And he says, I nearly died, and the whole sport nearly died with me. That's what I'd say if I was him. He's going to come out in a neck brace next race. Ladies and gentlemen,
Milk it.
You've got to. Oh,
Lap it up.
And then, does he still have the bloody L thing? Like, working class, is he still faking that?
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, has he got like Cockney?
No, he's never had a strong Cockney accent. He's from Stevenage. He's never going to get away from that.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'd go full Cockney. So bloody hell, eat that mere kipper. Boys, it was great today. My name is MKT. That was Formula One talk. My name is MKT. This is the MKT Show. But for now, we are the hell out of here.